Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay, so what do I got for you today? There's a recipe out there called pig shots, and basically what they do is they take like a little sausage, cut it, maybe a quarter inch thick, give or take, wrap it up with some bacon, and they stuff it with cream cheese. Now, Crazy Dave, I'm gonna one up it. Actually, I'm gonna double up it, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna call it the flying pig shot, and that's basically what's going to be the bacon wrapped around the sausage, and I'm going to stuff inside of it a egg mixture with some shredded cheese and a little bit of salsa, kind of like a quiche. Make that into the flying pig snot. And then the other one I'm going to do is I'm going to call that one the farmer's snack, and that's basically the same thing. You got the little sausage wrapped up with bacon, but this time I'm going to stuff the inside with meatloaf. There you go. Sit back, relax, enjoy as I show you how they're made. Okay, so for the flying pig shots, what we're going to do is some eggs. Now, I've got two here, probably most likely going to need more than two. I've got some Farmer John Polish sausage. And you see that the reason I like these is because they're uniform. It's not like the kielbasa rolls. These are actually kind of almost straight. So I'm actually going to put them on my slicer, and I'm going to make them uniform when I slice them up. I've got some Mexican shredded cheese, some sharp cheddar cheese shredded, and I've got some bacon. Let's put it together. And again, it's probably most likely going to be more than two. Oh, and I've got a jar of salsa. Okay, so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sausage on my slicer and kind of do some test run to see what they look like. That one we're going to put off to the side a little bit. And I want to see about how thick is it. Now that's about what it looks like. Let's look at that. Um, I think I might want to go. Actually, you know what? I like that thickness. That's probably about a quarter inch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish slicing these babies up. Okay, so this is what they look like after they slice them all up. I didn't slice all of them. I sliced about maybe half the package, but that's what they look like uniform. Okay, so I cut the bacon in half, and now what I'm doing is I'm separating them because the bacon is still pretty cold, and I want a little bit of kind of room temperature here because it makes it easier to work with. So right now, again, we're just separating the bacon from the package into the individual slices. And then once you're done doing that, we're going to start wrapping these babies up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take this little sausage here, and we're going to take half a piece of bacon. We're going to try to somehow wrap this thing up where we are forming this little cup. Okay, so we want to form a kind of like a little cup here. And you'll see kind of like so. We just want to form a little cup. And once we do that, we're going to take it and set it down. And we want to do that to a couple. So again, we're going to take a couple of slices here. And we want to kind of just wrap it up in the bacon. Still trying to figure this thing out, what's going to work best. And once you got this cup formed, that's where the toothpicks come into play. Because you want to do something where you want to hold everything in place. I'm going to keep wrapping them up. But it looks kind of like this. Let's see here. You got it kind of like a little cup. Alright, so here's what I've noticed. If you kind of come down, put the sausage on the edge, and then we're going to kind of rotate it. It kind of makes that little cup that we want. And then what you want to do is grab your toothpick and you're going to kind of stuff it in there like so. and it helped to form this little cup. And it kind of looks something like that. Now, what I've been noticing is some of them form really super nice, like this one here. That's what you want. You want something really nice. See that? Nice and round. Now, some of the other ones kind of look like this. Okay. Don't throw it away. We might use that for something else. Okay. But not every single one is going to form and look like a shot glass, and that's okay. Do your best. So this is what they look like when they're wrapped up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my fridge because I want this bacon to firm back up again before I add the ingredients, the egg mixture as well as the meatloaf. Okay guys, just a real quick side note here in regards to that bacon. At first you do want it out on the counter for a little bit because you want it to make it so that it's easy to separate the slices. You're going to cut that package in half. You're going to separate the slices either on parchment paper, paper plate, something, okay? And then return it back to the fridge because you want the bacon slices to be nice and firm so that way there it forms the shape of the cup. When I did it, I kind of left the bacon on the counter for a little bit, cut it in half, pulled the slices out. I had a real hard time with the bacon cups forming, okay? Well, right now, I've got that bacon in the refrigerator. I want that bacon nice and firm for the next step. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and continue with the flying pig shots. Remember, what is that? Basically, I'm just adding egg mixture to the actual pig shot itself, okay? The normal recipe, again, called for cream cheese. Crazy Dave modifying that. So let's move on to the flying pig shot. So basically what I've got here is I got my blending container. I got 3 eggs. I'm going to start with 3 eggs and kind of make the mixture from there. I've got my bottle of salsa, okay? I think I'm going to use about a half. And then I got my 2 bags of cheese. So the first thing I want to do is I want to break the eggs into the blender and start mixing that up. I'm going to add about half the jar of the salsa, and then I'm going to add the cheese to get the desired consistency. I don't want it runny. I want it more pasty because eventually I'm going to put it into my jerky gun and use that to load each one of the flying pig shots. So I guess I'm not going to use the jerky gun in this because it's still liquidy, but see how it's kind of pasty? I don't want it too thick. I did use both bags of cheese and half a jar of salsa and actually 4 eggs. But this is actually a really nice, good pancake kind of style. You want that to be thick here. And then we're going to go ahead and add that to the egg mixture. Now, as I'm letting that firm up, I'm going to dump that into another bowl or container. Actually, I'm put that into a measuring cup so I can work with that later easier. And I'm going to go ahead and start making the meatloaf. Now that one, you guys know the recipe for that. Just a standard meat with the stovetop stuffing and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. So let me go ahead and put that together. I'll bring you back and we'll make the pig shots. Okay guys, so I loaded the jerky gun with the meatloaf. And let's see here. A little bit of the shadowing in the light. Sorry about that. It's just the way the kitchen is here designed. You either have super bright lights or no lights. So we're going to control the flow. The wife suggested form meatball shapes and put it in there, but this is Crazy Dave. I don't do anything simple. And there we go. Now look at the one to the bottom of the jerky gun. That one actually came out really awesome. And what you want to do is kind of stuff it in there, form it. But look at that one. That one's a perfect circle here. And then over here, we got this one here. Look at that. Looks like a little shot glass. And we're just going to shoot it in there. But yeah, I think the forming a little meatball or just grabbing the meat and putting it in there would actually be easier. Because you'll see how I'm having consistency issues with this one, or I should say control issues. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish stuffing these up. And then I'll bring you guys back and we'll do the eggs. Okay, so that is what the meatloaf version looks like, or I should say the farmer's snack. Now we're going to go into the egg mixture and try to do the same thing, if I can control it. Look how thick that is. That's a little thick, so I'm going to find a way to fill these things up. I don't want to use a jerky gun, but I'm going to get it loaded, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I decided to use a spoon, but as I made a comment earlier, look at that mixture. It's like thick pancake batter. I mean, that stuff's thick. That's what you want because you want it to swell up, almost kind of like I guess a cake, if you want to call it that. And you want it to stay firm. Now, what we're going to do is when I get ready to turn the smoker on, I'm going to actually put these babies back into the fridge again. I want them to firm up because you see how fast they got kind of like really limpy. And I want them to firm up. If you need to, you can actually put them back in the freezer too. Well, let me finish this up. Okay, so what I do is I threw them both into the smoker at 225. We're going to do maybe about an hour or so, give or take. If you don't have a smoker, don't worry about it. Just throw it in your oven and you'll be fine. Okay. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to bring you back because I have no idea how they're going to turn out. All the videos of the regular pig shots use cream cheese, and we all know cream cheese doesn't really go all over the place. But I used eggs that can expand, and the meatloaf, that too can get really greasy and runny. We're going to find out. Well, sit back, relax, and I'll bring you back when it's all done. Okay, guys, so I pulled both of the flying chicken pig snots out of the smoker and the farmer's treat out of the smoker. So let's zoom in over here. This is actually the farmer's treat. This is the one with the meatloaf. These actually look really super amazing, really nice. I checked it with my thermometer, 165, perfect temperature. Okay, now, the flying chicken, I'm going to tell you right now, it got grounded. I don't think the chicken or the flying pig got grounded, didn't fly away because it looks like that. And you're like, okay, you know what? I might still actually grab them and eat them. I don't know. 3 of them came out really nice. This one actually looks like a little flower, like a rose, you know. But when I say failure, I'm not going to say it's a complete failure because this can actually be worked on. Take a look at this. So these are little cups, like silicone cups. You can get this from IKEA. So I'm thinking that if any of you guys want to play with this version again, put this down, put your little sausage, right here down the middle on the bottom, and then put your bacon on the outside, or put the bacon on the outside first, put your sausage inside, and then fill it up with your egg mixture, because what you're going to end up with is something like this, which we make all the time. I have a video on it, which is my egg bites, or I should say no dough quiche egg bites. So if you took something like this with the bacon and the little sausage on the bottom, you probably could make the flying pig snot work for you. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I tried this, and it's a failure as far as presentation-wise, but I'll tell you, when I picked one of these things up, what you're seeing is the cheese. And I think the cheese that I used was very fatty, and that's what this is. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you grab that thing and you throw that in your mouth, if you're a cheese lover like me, the umami flavors, or umai flavors, or I don't know what you want to call it, the umai, whatever, freaking awesome. Like, I'm talking, boom, look at that. Whoop, even this mixture, that's cheese. That's like cheesy. So if you're someone who likes like a cheese omelet, this is it, man. So failure as far as presentation, success as far as flavor and taste. Get creative, guys. Let's make this one work. Yum.